All these ideas that have come through me have been ideas for you guys to take up. And I literally have to move along. I just have to throw out prototypes just to get the point across to a certain number of people and time. So we supposedly have a new RAM coming to us at the end of the week. But for the last months I've been pulling this thing around by myself. And so it's closed. Or you can splay it out and wear it more open-faced to be cooler. It's summertime right now. It's a wearable teepee. I'm warm, waiting for them to get full. Warm in my little freestanding wool teepee that I can do this with. And we're up. And we're up. Yeah. A freestanding teepee with two little windows. Huh. Door. I got space behind me, space to the side of me. I can twist, I can move, I can, yeah, I can dance actually. I can dance in here, in my little world teepee, yeah. I love it, dude. I've been using it for the last month. I invented this new type of poncho last year. Obviously it looks a little bit different. It's actually better than the traditional military poncho. Traditional military poncho, you can reach out the sides, but you can't reach out the center. A traditional military poncho is 5 foot by 7 foot, whereas this one is 8 foot by 8 foot. A traditional military poncho needs 2 trees to tie it up to, tie it between, and those trees have to be close enough to do so. This new poncho is that I invented is 8 foot by 8 foot, so it's square. Therefore, it only needs to be tied up to 1 tree, like diamond style is what I'm calling it. So this new square poncho can be tied up diamond style in a new formation to just 1 tree, whereas the military poncho is rectangular and you can't pitch it diagonally. Yeah, 8 foot by 8 foot is actually almost twice as much surface area as 5 foot by 7 foot, because 5 foot by times 7 is 35, and 8 times 8 is 64. So 35 is almost half as much as 64. So this is actually twice as large as a regular poncho, yet it's still wearable. And What makes it wearable, still functional while being twice as big, is the fact that I've folded it in half. And it doesn't have a regular hood or hole in the middle of the poncho for you to stick your head through. It's just got this flap, this simple flap that you add to the very center of the diagonal fold of a square poncho. And then you can just add some buttons. Walnut buttons. Just use some Gorilla Tape. Yep, super easy. I'm able to make these in like 20 minutes now. They're so easy. Not only does it have all these benefits, the main benefit that I haven't even mentioned yet that I'll show you is that because it's 8 foot by 8 foot, you're able to pitch it as a legitimate A-frame shelter. Whereas the traditional military poncho, if you try to pitch it as an A-frame, you can, but you're not able to sit up straight inside of it. It's just 7 foot is not long enough to A-frame over you and still be able to sit up. But 8 foot is. I'm able to sit up in this. When I pitch it as an A-frame, I'm able to sit up completely straight, like meditation style, with still good inch above my head. And then I have 8 foot of length in that A-frame, whereas the traditional military poncho, if you were gonna pitch it to where you could get in it easily, the large way, it's not going to be long, and not going to be long enough for even your body. So yeah, this poncho is far better than the traditional military poncho. All right, so this is how it is set up as an A-frame. I'm able to fully sit up, and I like to tie it really close to one of the 2 trees that you tie it between, so that it helps to block the wind. This is my newest project I've been working on. This idea of face-to-face look on like car stickers like this, smaller for your door, or the t-shirts and the clothing that have this customizable logo on it that you could use washable clothing marker with, instead of this dry erase marker. Awesome. After I shear my sheep, I lay down the fleece with the skin side up, so that it has exposure to the sun's UV light, like the outside of the fleece does. And I do that because the UV light from the sun actually converts the cholesterol in the lanolin into vitamin D3. So the way that I've developed to felt my wool, I don't need to use any soap or even hot water. So all my clothing has all of the lanolin, original lanolin, left intact. And that lanolin, when it touches my skin, is supplying my body through my pores with vitamin D3 throughout the year. You don't need any tools at all. All you need is 2 large cardboard boxes and 2 hands. You don't need to wash the wool at all, and in fact, I don't ever wash my felts. All my felts have the lanolin left in, original waxy oil from the sheep that keeps it waterproof, and antimicrobial. That is the antimicrobial constituent of wool. Wool itself is not antimicrobial, it's the lanolin. So don't wash it out. Get raw wool, and pre-opened it up before I take it into the finger carding position, which is along the whole length of your thumb, and you want to primarily pinch it between its ends with your pinky and your pointer. And the idea is that we're going to try to pull each of the fibers out individually, almost. You can also make buttons out of them. This is a felted wool milk bottle cooler. A little reservoir on top. Fill up, and it's holding water. And as it soaks into the fabric, you just kind of squeeze it and let it soak in. Sheep's cheese, so good. I just made an evaporative cooler. Evaporative cooler. It's keeping my cheese and my milk down to 65. Willie's wearing his boxes and carrying some of my stuff. Well, yeah, watch the goats. It's got my boots when the sun goes down, milk, leashes, pen, pad, paper. Daddy, it's time to do a little review on my doormat sandals, little survival sandals. I just got done repairing them again. These, first of all, I want to say that these are old doormats that I dumpstered. They were already well weathered and had these cracks in them and stuff. So in order to make the holes, I punctured with my sewing needle and then with my tent stake, my skinny little wire tent stake, in order to get it to not have any beginnings of a tear, so to speak. But unfortunately, because my sheep occasionally steps on the edge of my heel, it ripped both of the sides out. But that's really easily remedied just by carrying around a little roll of Gorilla Tape, and it sticks so well. Gorilla Tape is awesome. Just made some new sandals, new felted wool sandals out of so thick and dense. Here in town, the Photoshop has the ability to make larger and clearer images than a print shop. So I would just send it to your Photoshop, have that printed out, and then use their cutting board to divide the map up into as small pieces as you can, or as you need, so that they fit in your pocket. I measured this one to be the size of my pocket so that I could carry it around over the next months and years, and continue to add things to it conveniently by just pulling it out of my pocket. So they'll always be available to pull out. Just pull down. It's got a hole in the back of it, and you blow. So I made the world's smallest water filter about 5 years ago and tested it really well. By now, tried the most questionable water sources. It's copper based. Basically, I just roll up a screen, copper screen, and you're drawing the water through up and through the Byzantine conduit of copper. So that's copper's the antimicrobial element within this water filter. But in addition to that, you can turn it over and
take a piece of wood charcoal from your fire and scrape it until it fills up the rest of the tube, copper tube, with powdered wood charcoal. And then you just simply submerge it into clean water and let it saturate and for a second, and then you're able to turn it upside down and the powdered charcoal stays in there, and then you're able to submerge it into dirty water and draw it up through the powdered charcoal and through the copper screen for antimicrobial for microbial action. And then the charcoal is also antimicrobial, but mainly would be for the added chemical filtration. But in addition to the copper and the charcoal filtration, I've added a couple other layers of filtration into my little personal drinking straw. And let me show you. Over the years, I've added another little copper screen bullet. Basically, it's just a 1/4 inch wide strip that's about 1.5 inches long, and I just roll it up into a tube, and then stick a piece of copper screen over the end of it and shove it through the tube, and it ends up looking like that. And you want to roll them up. You want to roll up it tight enough so that you can't see the sunlight through it when you hold the tube up to the sun. In which case you can't see light through either of these. And in addition to it having an extra copper screen bullet, I have silver particles that are the byproduct of melting them and dripping them into cold water. And everyone knows silver's antimicrobial action. And then lastly, I have a little crystal that a friend gave me that I have in there for add a placebo effect. And I don't know how important that is. So this is the world's smallest water filter. All right, I got a new water distillation method for y'all today. It's just a wok and a number 2 coffee can and a bunt pan and a hubcap. And I just knock the hubcap inside out so that it's domed like this, and the steam rises and collects on the cooled surface and trickles down to the parameter and drips down into the button pan. And because it's a wok instead of a flat bottom dish, I can keep just a minimal amount of water, a couple cups, in the bottom at any given time, so that the steam that's rising doesn't warm up the collection chamber. Just put together a new distiller invention, and it's nothing but a dog bowl, one of those classic shape no-tip dog bowls. And I obviously took a wrench and bent up the edge so the edge would be higher, so that when I fill this side with water, the water can cover the top. And then I bashed it up so that it would be more at an angle for the distillate, the water that I'm trying to distill, or whatever I'm trying to distill. It'll collect on the cool bottom side right here, and then it'll trickle down the sides and into a bump pan. And I used the rubber ring that was on the base of the dog bowl. I took that off and I cut it and taped it to fit around the rim of the ring pan, or the bump pan, so that it's a perfect seal. And then you just got a regular, I believe these are called number 2 cans. Alright, I got a new little booklet that I'm trying to create. I already created these blank ones that you can fill in with your own useful survival and sustainability or DIY information, because information is the most valuable thing on the planet already. I've been trying to make information-based alternative currencies.
So I just take the recording and play it on
I got a sleep slip signed for tonight so that I can legally sleep on this guy's front porch of his business. Homeless name has the privilege to be on my property. I can go there at 9 p.m. tonight, and it says it's good for the whole month. Chris Bisco, thank you, Chris. I call him Peace Rabbit, and he was invented. I invented him. He was invented through me, to be basically such an obviously good idea. It probably should have been thought of a long time ago, but for some reason it was given to me. Perhaps because I'm responsible with it. With all of this, I'm trying to be. And sharing it instead of letting money get in the way of these ideas. But it seems that not having money to advertise or boost my YouTube or Facebooks or websites or anything is actually preventing the scene legitimacy, I guess. Anyway, Peace Rabbit, man. Obviously, come on, man, guys. He's a hand that looks like a peace sign, and he obviously makes a rabbit. His knuckle is right there. It's just crazy eye, and then his nail, thumbnail. This is Peace Rabbit's first presentation. He would like to present the activist booklet. Hi, I'm Peace Rabbit, a peace activist. An activist is someone who uses their actions to help the world in some way. I use my actions to help the world have more peace. Today I'm going to show you how to make these activist booklets so that you can be an activist too and share your helpful information with people in a fun new way. Step number 1, fold paper. Hot dog or hamburger style. There are exactly 2 types of activists. Ones that work on solutions that are dependent on this economy being functioning, and then there are those that work on solutions that will not be dependent on this functioning economy, that they think will eventually collapse. Step number 2 is to fold the paper again. In other words, there are activists who attempt to prop up the economic house of cards, and then there are those activists who attempt to make a new sustainable structure safely off to the side. Step number 3,
fold paper in half the other way. In other words, there are activists who are attempting to plug the holes in the economic boat, and then there are activists who are using the time and resources on board the sinking ship to make vessels that will float sustainably. Step number 4 is unfold paper and cut a slit along the center fold. These activist pamphlets are an example of the second type of activism because they teach the practical actions that empower people, and they are not dependent on electricity or functioning economy in order to be made, read, and reread. Step number 5 is fold paper in half and then open up the center like that. So remember to consider whether your activism will still be able to help people without a functioning economy, so that it will be able to help them when they most need it. When they need it most. Step number 6, fold into a booklet, crease the edges, add your useful how-to info, and make copies of it to share. Activist booklet. Issue number 1 of Peace Rabbit is brought to you by homelessshepherds.org. Check out our other helpful sustainable solutions online while you still can. And her milk production is super down, so I don't have any milk to make butter with. So I got some store butter today, and because it's not raw, I can't keep it unrefrigerated outside like my sheep's butter that just cultures with the native cultures that came out in the milk. I decided to make some ghee, but instead of doing it the way that I've always done it, that everyone does it, by boiling it and scraping the milk, the butter solids off the top, is what usually people do. They boil it and scrape the butter solids off the top, and then the pure oil is left underneath. I just put it in my black cooking pot for an hour or two out here in the sun and came back to it, except it did the opposite. The oil is now on top, and the butter solids are on the bottom. I can use the lid. I'll just use the lid. The lid is actually, a spoon would take forever. This lid looks like it'll be perfect compromise. It is a spoon, it's a big spoon. Yeah, all right, this will work. It's a really shallow spoon too, so I'll be able to get the last of it. Put your tinder down here, feed your sticks in here. You got a coffee can, stick burner stove. No tools required. Come on, Lily. Sit down. Here. Wait. Wait. All right, go. Go. Good boy, go. Good boy. Good boy, go. Go. Good boy. Yeah, buddy. All right. Thank you. Awesome possum. Good boy. Oh shit. Smack, smack. Oh, shit. Nasty track. Go on. Good boy, thank you. Appreciate it. Good boy. Go on. Here. Good boy. Actually, I don't need you. I'm going. Cool. Thank you.
This man has a talent. You know, he put it together. And he tries to stay away from all the elements of disbelief and doubt and what you can't do. And he works beyond what has been created. And so he is on to something. And then sooner or later, somebody catch on.
Pass it on your left. Yeah, buddy.